Hello, welcome on in everybody. I've got some 3v3 gameplay for you guys. I've been on the PTR playing some of the 3v3s and checking out some of the new PvP reward systems, etc. And in today's video, I'm going to be showing off an entire 3v3 round so you guys get a good idea of what a actual 3v3 game will look like. And I'm going to show you guys a little bit of the new PvP reward system and the new PvP currencies, etc. So without further ado, let's get right into this 3v3 here. As you can see, the first round did not go well for my team. So the way that the scoring system works is that it is a best of 5. So first team to hit 3 essentially wins. So we come out for the second round here, and we are very aggressive on the back line again. This time we don't fall right into that huge snare trap that kind of killed everybody in the first round. And right off the bat, one thing that I noticed on the PTR is that snares function very differently and immobilizes function very differently than they used to. The big thing here is that you can use a roll while you're immobilized. And you can use a roll while snared too, but there you can see when I was snared in the gravity well, the distance of the roll is much less than it used to be, but I still had the iframes allowing me to dodge there. I think this definitely changes the dynamic of how snares and CCs in general kind of work in PvP. We're going to see kind of how this plays out as I play more on the PTR, but for my initial impressions, I kind of like the change to snare and immobilize in this new iteration of the patch. Now, something that I really noticed this patch is the changes to stamina. Here you can see I try to hold on to the roll just a little bit too long, and it takes a pretty notable amount of time for that stam regen to come back compared to where it was at on the live server. So I think for us rolly builds, we're definitely going to feel it a little bit there, but seeing that roll has this newfound counter to immobilizes that it just didn't have before, I'm not really sure balance-wise how this will all play out. Either way, I did get locked down and eventually got killed by these guys there. So we go out for the third round. We're down by 2, so we've got to win. Otherwise, these guys are going to win the 3v3 arena. I go for the burnout behind this guy here. Managed to get a pretty decent riposte off in the middle of the gravity well, and then right away just flesh out of there to break a little bit of distance. There you can see in the back, my friend puts great damage into that enemy player there, and I'm just trying to do my best to keep aware of how the hit points of the enemies are looking. This guy, he goes into me with the blunderbuss combo, and I managed to get the riposte off right after the end duration of that stun off of the hammer. It feels like stuns peel off of you, especially when you get chain stunned a lot faster than they used to. That is something they mentioned in the patch notes, the diminishing return on stuns now. And I'm definitely noticing it even when I'm just fighting a single hammer player. If he hits me with 2 stuns, I notice that I get out of the second one significantly faster. So it does definitely nerf some of the one-shot builds going around, but we still have that big issue with the blunderbuss sword and shield one-shot build, and the knockback on that can't be reduced in duration, unfortunately. This enemy Ice Gauntlet player here is putting up a great fight, staying alive, but the Flamethrowers of Justice eventually are going to get him, and I managed to bring him down. We did win that round, so we're going to try again to win the next round here. Again, we've got to take the win, otherwise we're going to lose this fight. And the Great Axe player, he ends up coming forward to kind of tank the two of us. My friend over here taking a lot of pressure from these two. They're both running pretty high damage builds, and he retreats back to the group here. Unfortunately, one of my friendly players there gets nuked by the enemy blunderbuss one-shot combo. And yeah, I haven't run into any other one-shot combos yet. It's just that blunderbuss one that's kind of left, but we'll see how that kind of plays out in the future. Either way, this enemy Ice Gauntlet player, he's trying to escape. I just go for a flesh through him. It's enough damage to bring him down, and the Great Axe player is chasing me here. The enemy blunderbuss sword and board one-shot build, he ends up running towards me and leaving my friend alone, and I peel back behind the pillar here, and they switch targets again. I really like the 3v3 that you do multiple rounds. It actually keeps it pretty interesting because you get to retry if you made a mistake against them initially. And I get on top of the enemy blunderbuss player. I hit him with the flesh. He goes for the counter stagger and then goes for the hook shot, and I managed to get a riposte on the hook shot. There's the fireball. He's very low HP, and just one little tick on the burning there to bring him down. And here you guys can see I'm able to escape out of that hammer stun faster than I would normally. The last thing I kind of want to talk about on the PTR that I have noticed is that the performance is not great in the 3v3s. I don't know if that's just me, but it feels better on the live server, and I have recently moved to an NA East server. and I have better performance on live than I did on the PTR. So it might just be, you know, an earlier PTR iteration is why I'm experiencing that, but definitely a little bit of positional issues during the course of fighting. Maybe it's just some of the new mechanics around snares and stuff with gap closers and roll that might be doing that sort of thing. Either way, we go for the third engagement here. I get right in the middle of the pack, very aggressive with the Rapier, managed to land the riposte, save myself a little bit, get back behind the pillar here and heal up. And unfortunately, one of our friendly players here, I was actually doing these with my friend, but the rando that we had with us, he ended up leaving, so it's just a 2-on-3 here, and we're trying real hard to put as much pressure as we can into these guys, but they're staying kind of tight, and they're picking one target at a time. My friend's trying his best to kite it out. The enemy sword and shield player, he gets the stun there. He goes for the shot into the hook shot there, so he actually could have hit me with the one-shot combo and definitely killed me there, but he kind of botched that combo on himself, so I managed to survive it. My friend, very low HP here. I'm trying to chase down the blunderbuss player to finish him off. I go for the flamethrower, then he hits me with the hook shot, and I try to roll through him, but my body gets repositioned in front of him afterwards, and then just a lot of rubber banding once I get hit by that stun too. And I did run into an unfortunate issue where my game crashed while I was trying to load a 3v3, and then I found myself on a half-an-hour cooldown before I could play another one. Alright, so the PvP reward system is now part of your character page. Right next to your trade skills it says PvP, and it shows basically your PvP rank. It says I have 20 tracks completed, which just came with the default of this character. If you click on the Emblems and Rewards tab, you can see the ranks here. Start at Recruit, go to Steel at 1 tracks completed, and then all the way to Star Medal at 200 tracks completed, or I guess 200 loops through your rewards here. And it also has the Azoth Salt here, so you can keep track of how much you've obtained. This isn't stored on your inventory page anywhere that I could find, so I think this is the only place where you can kind of view that. But in short, as you continue to rank up your PvP and you work towards the next track by obtaining Azoth Salt, you will then be able to purchase yourself a reward from one of the available rewards in these different checkpoint boxes here. And this will just continue on and on and on. And I would assume that it goes past 200 like the trade skills, but I can't confirm that, and I'm not about to grind 200 PvP rank on the PTR to find out. And those are my early impressions on arenas, I guess. I think they're going to be a really fun PvP game mode. I really like the addition of PvP rewards and Azoth Salt. I'm not a huge fan of some of the performance issues I ran into, but that again could just be the PTR stuff. And the balance changes, I think, are a step in the right direction to kind of take the game away from this really heavy root and stun meta that we have right now. If you've been on the PTR and tried some of this, don't be shy to share your experience down below. Of course, if you guys want to catch some live gameplay from me, you can always give me a follow on my Twitch and give me a follow on Twitter if you want to keep up to date with what's going on with me. You can check out my website, pvpnewworld.com. It's got written guides to all my builds and a bunch of information on the game there as well. And I featured the New World Top 5 battles and featured builds on the channel. If you've got a sweet fight or an awesome build that you think could be featured, send it to Kristofer at pvpnewworld.com. This show is sponsored by What the Fast. They're a VPN for gamers. They can give you better ping to your favorite games. They're free to try for the first month, and there's a link down below for you guys. And last but not least, a massive thank you to all of my patrons on Patreon. Thank you everybody just for tuning in and watching. As always, I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you guys are excited for the future of these arenas. Have a great night, everyone, and I'll see you next time.